Hello. Welcome to my channel. I am Nate, and this is Peach Domino Paper Crafts. So, what we do here, if you're new to the channel, is we make paper crafts. We make all kinds of things. We make tags and tabs and junk journals and just all kinds of things. And right now we are focused on a project that I am doing where I am trying to make 26 junk journals this month. Today is the 11th and none of them are finished, but that's okay. Still got a long way to go left in this month. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm glad to see you. Pull up a chair, enjoy, and if you find it fun or inspirational or you get a good idea, hit that subscribe button down there and make sure you hit the notification bell so YouTube will tell you every time I post a new upload. And make sure you hit the like button so that I know that you enjoy the content and I will make more of it. If you're not new here and you're returning, welcome back. Good to see you. It's been a while. And I'm sorry I lied to you about being a tomorrow video and now it's been like 3 days. Please forgive me. I'm going to stop saying tomorrow because I try to make something every day, but I have other things that happen and I can't always be here every day. So I'm going to stop saying tomorrow and I'm just going to say next time. I think that'll work. So let's get into it. What are we doing today? We're making journal cards. And we're going to make the Halloween ones today, and next time we'll make the fairy ones. But I wanted to catch you up and remind you of what we did last time on the channel. We cut out some bases, and we kind of covered them up and made them into, I showed you how to decorate one. But I went off camera and I made up some more, and I made up some that are specifically fairy ones, which by the way I promised you I'd show you what this one turned out like with the Monopoly money on it. It's a little shiny. I'm going to get some, actually I'm not. I was going to say I'm going to get some dull coat and dull that down, but I'm not because the fae like shiny, so we're going to leave it. But I made one with the Monopoly money. I've still got to put something on the back. We'll do that tomorrow. That's a fairy one. I made some that are specifically Halloween, and then of course I made just a few because we know I can't do anything in small numbers. I made a few that could be for anything. So let me show you the Halloween ones that I made up the fronts for, and then we'll get into some of the other ones and I'll start showing you some decorations. I had this scrapbook paper. This was just a scrap piece. And I just put it down on one of the cards. Still needs a back or something, and we'll figure that out today. I took 4 pieces. This one goes away. I took 4 pieces and I put them down, and I stamped on them. I'd put them back down in order, but I don't even know where the order went, so I just kind of stuck them down, to another sheet of paper, stamped all over them, and then cut them into pieces so they'd all look a little different. And when I put a stamp on, I just stamped until I ran out of ink. You can see some. And then I had this dotted one, and I just did that in 2 different colors. Some business ones, Halloween business. There's some potions in here somewhere. Just all different colors. Here's another piece of that scrap paper. This one's backed on cardstock. And these are just pieces of cardstock. Here's a different scrap of paper. I think this one's one I printed. And I backed it on a piece of scrap pattern paper that I had. I embossed, let me zoom you out just a little. These are a little bigger. I embossed some sheets. This one, I think they're both spider web pattern, but this one's just a scrap piece of cardstock and a scrap that I had laying around for the back. Same with this one, it's a spider pattern on a scrap Halloween pattern paper that I had with some of that same scrap. So those are the ones that I made specifically for Halloween. Zoom you back out. I know you hate being zoomed in and out because I hate it. So we're not going to do that again unless I have to. And then for the ones that are, you know, whatever, whoever, I have these scraps and I just put some different feeling scraps. These feel more homemade. Just stuck them together. Same with that one. This one. They're all basically just neutral-ish scraps. Some are, you know, you can tell where this one didn't print all the way. But they're just neutral scraps put on top of neutral scraps. And there's a lot. And they're roughly the same size because these scraps were roughly the same size. These may be the scraps that I got from the woman on Facebook Marketplace. I think she used to make a bunch of cards. I know she said she made a lot of scrapbooks. This was a scrap of music paper that I had, and I just backed it on some more pattern paper. I'm going to cut it down or fold it. I'm not sure. It's got this fold line right here. So I may just fold it into a, you know, actually I think I will. That's a nice place to do that. More of the just random scraps. This was a letter that I printed off and kind of aged up. I just backed on some cardstock. More random scraps. Just, you know, stuff. And I backed it on stuff. They don't all have backs on them. They're not all pretty, but they're all starting. And that's exactly what I wanted. So that I can show you guys how I decorate. I have to fix the camera angle. I don't like it. So if you'll give me a moment, I'm going to pause you and bring you back so you don't have to worry about that, you know, weird feeling. Y'all, I just had a whole video filmed for y'all where I went through and showed you all my ribbons, and I didn't turn it back on, I guess. So here we are. But anyway, I have a bunch of Halloween ribbon. This is the piece of music paper, and I just folded and bone folded it. And I said I wasn't going to worry about this because I'm just going to decorate it. And I think I'm going to use this bat ribbon. And I said too that I don't throw these wrappers away, because if you're going to make a specimen slide or something, you're going to need a piece of plastic for it. And those are free pieces of plastic. You get them when you buy the ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and kind of measure it. Not perfectly, because of course it's a junk journal. But I'm just going to set it on there and kind of under this bat. Anyway, I'm going to cut under that bat. Grab out my scissors. Set the rest of that aside. Now, if I just do where I take it and I fold it in half, and I put it directly on here, all the way in, then that's all you're gonna see. And I don't feel like that's enough. I feel like you have to see at least some of the bat. So I think I'm gonna do it more like this, so that you have this whole bat right here. And then maybe glue it like that so that it sticks out like that, but you can also tuck it down to put it in a pocket. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get my glue and use my Fabri-Tac for this. Although I assume you could use, I just dropped a whole bunch of stuff. I assume you could use just about any glue, but I'm going to use this ultra super thick, doesn't want to let go of the lid Fabri-Tac that I have. Open it up. turn it around because apparently I had it upside down. Which means I'm going to do it a little different, but not a whole lot. Okay, we're going to cover up to this line right here roughly. So I'm just going to get the glue and foofer it down. That's a technical term there, y'all. Foofer. I think it means to put. I think that's how I'm going to tell you it means anyway. Because I can. And it's my term. I'll use it how I want to. You're welcome to use it, by the way. I'm not going to claim any rights to it or anything. I don't know how all that works. If you'll excuse me, I'm being snapped at. So if you give me just a second, I'm going to come right back. Turns out it wasn't for me. It was for the dog. So, ta-da! Okay, now, how do I want this? This is our front. So, I could do it all the way over like this. Because this is the front of our card. And then from back, you would only see this. What do y'all think? Yell loud so I can hear your thoughts. I think so too. I think we're going to go ahead and do it. Good thoughts, y'all. Good thoughts. I like when y'all agree with me. It's nice. So, go ahead and put that down here. I'm going to stretch it around a little bit and then just, yeah, gross. I'm hoping that dries clear and not in the stripy pattern that you currently see here. I think it will. I don't recall though. I don't use Fabri-Tac very often because it's expensive. But I'm going to pretend that I know for sure it's going to dry the way I want it to. Right? Right. But we're going to leave it to dry open so that it doesn't dry closed. They make a glue eraser, and I have a glue eraser, but I don't know where I put the glue eraser, or I would just erase that little bit of glue right there. Okay. But we're not through. This is not all we're going to do. So, I want it to look, I don't know, more Halloween-y. So I'm going to get into the little box of Halloween goodness. And we're going to find something. No bones, because I want it to go in a pocket. I will make bones for these journals. And you will like it. I just hope when I am done with it. I put him on there. That'll look nice, but I don't think that's all it needs. I don't think that's going to go well with that pumpkin. Not the lungs. Put a little monster poking out from behind it. No, I don't like that. I think the front's just going to have this pumpkin. I'm going to poke it up a little bit, though. But what are we going to do on the back, y'all? I don't know. Let me get some tapes so that I can poke this pumpkin down. Well, it looks like we're using little dots today. Kragan. Big dots, big squares, big pieces. So I'm just gonna stab all these down. Whew, Fabri-Tac is strong. I should open a window. Safety first, y'all. Safety first. Open a window. Or, if you're like me and you're the type of kid who used to snip Sharpies, don't open a window. But just know, Fabri-Tac is strong. I was that kid. I didn't do it for, like, you know, I didn't do it all the time, and I didn't do it for the reasons that people do it, but just because it smelled weird. I'll pull that off camera, and that way you can see what it looks like when it's finished, and I'll put it back in frame. What it's gonna look like. I'll cut this stuff off in a little bit. Let's see what we're gonna put on this back cover, y'all. I don't want to do another pumpkin. I feel like I got. No, I want it to be something that the person who receives it can do something with. So let me clear out a little bit of this spot. I should have zoomed y'all out a little bit. What if I put her there? What does it say? It says I was made by AI, but that's okay. That's what that translates to. Is that too much, y'all? Is that not enough? I don't want it to be too... I'm gonna do that. Okay, so we're gonna take these and set them out of the way. Get out the regular glue. Lock her down. And plop the kitty down. Okay, I said I was going to do this off camera, but I'm not. I will speed this part up so you don't have to watch me take off 9 million tags. Okay, could you imagine if you'd had to watch that all in real time? We're just going to put this like this, squash it down, and ta-da. That's going to be the opened outside of the card. Oh, wait. I said I was going to wait for it to dry, but have you met me? Even if it's just digitally, I don't wait. I am not a wait person. Okay, there we go. I like that. It's simple, but effective, I think. And then I'm not going to put anything else on the inside. That way there is plenty of room for them to, you know, add pictures or sandwiches and weenies. Sorry, I got distracted. But anyway, they can add pictures. They can add whatever they want to in the inside here, and then a little room still to add on the back. Okay, so that's one that we have decorated. It's a fold open card. That's how you make it look Halloween. Let's decorate some more, just so that you get the picture. I'll show you, and I'm going to stamp some, I believe. Let me get some that do have backings, so that we don't have to add backings to them. That should do. And I will, let me zoom you out. Hold your horses. Ta-da! Okay. That way you can see a little better what I'm doing while I'm doing it. And I realize I did not prepare a story for y'all today, but I've been telling stories and y'all seem to like them, so let's see what I can come up with here. Oh, I know one. When I was a baby, Well, and I say baby, to me, if you are, this is one of my glue pages. To me, if you are elementary school or below, you're a baby. And if you are middle school to 25, you're a teenager. I don't know, fight me, I don't know. But when I was a baby, I was probably, I don't know, 3, 4. I wasn't in school yet. My grandmother had just married her second husband. I believe it was her second. Might have been her third. I don't know. She married the grandfather that I know the most, and I called him Grandpappy. We don't talk anymore. There's reasons. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he was a Vietnam vet, and he had a dog that he brought back from Vietnam, German Shepherd. And I was told when I went over there to stay. At this point, well, maybe I was a little older than that. I don't know. But at this point, I was staying either me. I don't know. I was over at her house, and I was told that at night after we went to bed, if I needed something, I should holler out, and that I needed to kind of stay in my room, stay in bed. Have you ever been 3? So, middle of the night, I've been told, this is all what I've been told, so, I've been told that my mother woke up because she heard screaming. She heard me screaming, and I'm not a parent, but I can only imagine what went through her mind as she ran to find out what the problem was. And she ran and ran, and she got there. She didn't run away, she got there pretty quick. And there I was, standing in the hall with my entire arm in this German Shepherd's mouth. Now, he wasn't biting down, nothing like that. The dog knew I was supposed to be in bed. The dog knew I was out of bed. The dog kept me still. The dog was doing his job. I'm not mad at the dog. And he said, I am still to this day wary of German Shepherds. I'm not necessarily scared, especially if it's a shepherd that I've known for a while or something like that. But I'm nervous meeting German Shepherds for the first time. Happens. And please don't get mad at anybody that's in this story. Nothing happened to me. I'm not hurt. I'm obviously still here. 2 arms, 2 legs. Dog didn't hurt me. So, let's leave it at that. But I will tell you, German Shepherds are not the only animal that I am scared of because of these types of things. Because again, when I was young, I was maybe in school. I don't think I'm going to use that color. I was maybe in school. I was pretty young. And my other grandparents had a lake house that we would go to, and it wasn't anything big or fancy. It had been in the family forever, and the lake wasn't even big and fancy, and it's, still a pretty small lake today. It's actually smaller today, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, we were out on the lake, and there was a duck. There's ducks at the lake. And that duck chased me, and that duck bit me. And to this day, all birds are evil. I hate birds because of that duck. I don't know if you can see, I'm just gathering up a bunch of inks over here. I'm scared of livestock. Cows, mostly. I know what cows can do. I know cows are scary little beings there. So I'm scared of cows. My grandfather has, I don't know, 7 or 8 cows, 9. He's got some cows. And I'm trying to get over my cow fear. I used to be scared of horses. A friend of mine had a lot of horses. And those horses, I don't know what their deal was with me, but they would follow me around. Like, I'd turn around and the horse would be right here at my shoulder. They'd never touch me or anything like that. I mean, I used to pet the horses and whatnot, but they got me over my fear of horses. So now we're just working on the livestock. And yeah, I'll go in and feed chickens and ducks and things like that for friends who need someone to feed chickens and ducks or whatever. But I don't like them. I think they're much better animals when they're deep fried. So there's that. There's your story for the day. I hope it was a good one. I'm just stamping up different things and getting it all over my fingers because I'm not paying any attention. And just going in random directions, random papers, and stamping till it runs out of ink. If it's still got ink and stamping, I'm still stamping it. And make sure when you do this that you put some of these off the page so that they look, you know, pattern. It could be anywhere. Look at it. I just got ink all over myself today. Okay, set those to a side. We did those two. I got this stamp set here, and I don't know where I got it. And if I did, I probably wouldn't tell you because everybody's judgy these days. I'm gonna say that I probably got it off Temu. I don't know. Maybe somebody Dollar Tree or something. No, not Dollar Tree. I got very few off Dollar Tree. I'm gonna get a different stamp. Let's see what I got here. No, I don't want butterflies on Halloween. So we'll set those aside. I don't want to find hearts on the Halloween. Let me ask y'all something. See this? Am I supposed to break that and pop those out of there? I got it. I know I got this in a bag of stamps that I got from Goodwill. So, y'all let me know in the comments what I'm supposed to do with that. These are Dollar Tree stamps. I don't want to use those. These are Dollar Tree stamps. No, I'm not going to use those. Let's see. I got some leaves. I might do some leaves. Ooh, that's a pretty pattern. I'm going to do this pattern today. And when I do one of these type of patterns, oh, I might as well show y'all. There was this one too, which is more of a fairy. But when I do these patterns like this, I leave the plastic on the back, and I just use that to stomp it down. Get you on screen. It's sparkly, so whoever had it last, I've never used it, so whoever had it last used it with sparklies. And I don't know if you're supposed to rub them like this or just, but I find they get inked quicker if you rub them down real good. So we're going to take that purple, set our cards back out in a way that I prefer here. Okay, and then I'm just going to do that and use this. And a friend of mine told me if you really want it to get down, you put the paper on top. But for what I'm doing right now, I'm not that pressed about it. Oh, that is pretty. Let's do it this way right here. Oops. That's good enough. And we'll put that off to the side. I'm going to keep stamping because I want to fill them up today. I got these, which I am not going to use on this one. These that are like apothecaries and vampire hunters and things. I am going to use these and set that aside. So let's go with this gargoyle here. I'm going to do orange because I haven't done an orange and it is Halloween. Off to the side. Doesn't matter because I'm still going to get inked everywhere. Why does it feel like it's not going on? Look at it. Let's see. It did though. So it just holds the ink differently, I guess. I don't know. And there's nothing left on it. Weird. That's okay. Let's get a different one then. How about this one? And we'll use this red because I haven't used red. We're just going to dip that in this time and see what happens. That one kept going. That was the gift that keeps on giving. Ah! My cards! You know what? We're going to stop here. Put that before I lose it. So, I've still got a bunch of ink here. We'll set it off to the side somewhere. So, we have these, which are now perfectly fine. Oops. I'm trying to get all this paper out of the way. Perfectly fine as they are. But I think they could be better. You see, look at that. And then this one. This one. This one. Of course, they still feel powdery. Weird. But they still feel like wet ink, which is fine because it is. I think it could be better. What do we got on the backs of these? Gray, gray, gray. A lot of gray. Anyway, that's good enough if they can write on it, but let's see what we can include it. I have got to quit hitting this camera, guys. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I don't mean to shake it up like that. There's one of those. I like that. We could put trick or treat. That would cover a lot of space. I don't want to do that. Here we have another label. Let's try. I'm trying to find smaller things so I don't cover up a whole bunch of that stamping we did. But I want to do a little bit of something to all of them. Dragon's Breath. This little skinny guy. She's a witch. How do you know she's a witch? She turned me into a newt. I could sit here and quote that whole movie all day long, and I'm not going to do it. I want to. Get some horrible hands, and here's a potion. Okay, so we have our little bits that we're going to stick on. We spread them out a little. Some of them are really big, so we might not use this Dragon's Breath or horrible hands. We'll see. See what we got here. Now this one's got a lot of purple on it, so this could go very well with it. I just gotta figure out what orientation. I don't want it to cover up. I do like putting things at an angle. I don't know why. I'm just very angular, I guess. Ignore the fact that my hands are still covered in ink. Now we're at 30 minutes. These are our second card. And I did stop to do some things and talk about some things. So there's our second card. I like that the way it is. Set that off to the side. Where did our other card go? Wow. It's somewhere. I'll find it and set it aside. And then that way, at the end, I'll be able to sit down and show y'all off all the cards. Here's this one. Now that's got a lot going on that's very strong, so I'm going to set it aside. This doesn't have a whole lot of very strong stamping on it. It does have a whole lot of stamping, but not strong stamping. That doesn't quite fit, and I don't like that. Okay. Put the poison label on it. Right in this corner. And I'm gonna tell you now, you go so far as to go through and ink these up, and they'd make a whole different vibe. If we took this and we took our rusty hinge, and we just get this around the outside. That already gives it a different vibe. And then what if we went through and we ink up our finger? Don't do this. And just put a little dirt on it. Just go through and put a little dirt on it. Doesn't have to be anything special. Just make it a little bit more grungy. Of course, don't do that. Then you end up with this, and you gotta go wash your hands again. I don't recommend that. But that's what I did. So this is pretty busy right here. So I think I'm just gonna leave it as is. I might go in on the back and give it essence of Dittany. Alright. But yeah, go in on the back and give it a label. That gives the back a little bit more character, and remember that stamp set I showed you earlier? And you're going to say, what stamp set? Because I haven't told you what stamp set. Now let us go with that stamp set and get our black soot out. That's not black soot. That is lime green. Twisted citron. Sorry. Where is the black soot? I have it. There it is. Sorry, I got a little high pitch there for a minute, though. This way. Just ink up our black soot. Ignore the fact that I'm not using a paper. Always use a little paper. Right there. And give it some lines. And then you got that, which would be nice to write on. I'm going to leave those there because I might use it again. Actually, I'm going to change it out for this one. This will be the next one I use. I think I have some more. I think they're bullet journal style, but I need some more line stamps. This is very, very busy, and I want to tame that down. So I'm gonna do something, give it a little focal point to tame it. It is very busy, and It doesn't make my eyes hurt, but I will tell you, I could see how somebody could get their eyes just unfocused on this guy. So we're going to give it a little focal point here to kind of offset the busyness. I'm going to leave the back. No, I'm going to put something on the back of this one. Jellied eyeballs. I'm going to put some jellied eyeballs right here. I'm going to put them right here. Coat it up with some glue. Put in some jellied eyeballs. Now I'm going to go back and ink all of these later. I'm just trying to get through some to show you kind of what you can do. These two, that one got double inked. I'm going to leave those two like that, but I am going to put this guy. This one's from Epic Little Treasures, the Voodoo kit, which I am so pleased to be working with. And I am so sorry I haven't got anything done with it yet, but here I am. That's gonna go right there. We're gonna try to get some more done with that. I really love that kit. And ooh, we could make this a twofer. That takes up a lot of room though. Horrible Hands takes up a lot too. That's from a photo from one of those back of the magazine, back of the comic book ads you used to get in the 70s and 80s. And I say specifically 70s and 80s because I've seen the drawings on this thing. Okay, we got that. And then, what are we going to do with some of these others, y'all? What are we going to do? I mean, we're only at 36 minutes, so I'm going to use these as backgrounds for something else that I'm going to bring to y'all later. This needs something. Most of this needs something. Let's pull out a pile of ephemera. Okay, that's the pile we're going to work with right now. So we've got this, and it's backed with this, so it's got a backing. I don't like the backing, but it's there. But I do like the spider web and want to keep it in, I don't know, not full effect, but it makes a good background. You can tell some of these are stickers because they're shiny. There they go. I was trying to get the shiny on the... She's upside down. What about making a little family collage upside down on purpose? On the front. And then ooh. What do you think? I kind of like that. And then kind of pop him up off the page. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Okay. Thank y'all. Y'all are such good helpers. I'm going to see how many cards I can get done in however long, like an hour video. Not an hour. I don't like to go to an hour, but closer to an hour. And remember, we stopped and talked and set up and stuff like that. But when you mass make the bases, then when you need them, you can mass make the cards. And it makes everything so much easier, so much quicker. I'm going to tell you that because of my mental health, I've been dreading doing this video, and I don't know why. It's not like it's a hard video, and I knew it would be easy. I had already mass made the cards. But if you know anything about depression, then you understand that it's not logical, it's not doesn't tell you, it doesn't respond to you. And that's a discussion I don't want to have on this channel, because this is supposed to be a happy place. So we got those down. Good. Where's our pop? And there's our pop. And I'm going to try to use up this little bit of dots that I have right here. So that I can get a sheet out of the way. You always get more of the tinies than you do the big ones. I know I didn't speed this one up because it's only 6 dots. You'll make it through 6 dots. Maybe. Oh, come on. Thank you. Grr. Grr, grr, growl, growl. So what's everybody doing? Like, kids are back in school. My nephew's gone 90% of the week. He goes to school about a half an hour away, college. He's going to be a firefighter, a forest firefighter. I don't know if I've told y'all that or not. Which, okay, he might be back, but if you know anything about the curriculum, then you can probably guess where he's going to school. And I'm fine with that. I'm okay telling people where I'm at. What are you gonna do? Come get me? I don't know where I put my corner rounder this time, y'all. I got 100 of them on my desk and none of them is what I'm looking for. So it looks like I'm not gonna be rounding any corners in this video. I'll use this fancy one-up-one chair, which is going to get into my picture, but that's okay. Come on, Gerald. See, it got into the picture. It's hard to doof because it's glued. It's still wet glue. But that'll give, you know, spots where they can put things in on the back. Oh, that one was much easier. I guess because it's the first one I glued and it's drier. I don't know how glue works. Magic. Now that he's gone, it's just, well, you know, 90% of the time. He's still got his room here. He still comes home at night. Things like, and on the week, a little bit on the weekends. You know how teenagers are. But now that they're gone, oh, what are we doing? Like, me and the wife, we're just kind of hanging out, doing the same old thing, you know. And yeah, so that gives, pardon me, y'all, that gives them a place where they can tuck some pictures, you know, something. So there's a cool little card. I like that one. Let's set that off to the side. Okay, let's work on this guy. He's got some ghosties on the front. Be a good way to get rid of them horrible hands. Oh, I just don't seem to care for the horrible hands. I'm really upset about that corner punch, y'all. It's my basic corner rounder. I want to round this corner, but I'm gonna have to do it with scissors. Do it the old-fashioned way. One of the businesses in our town is having a little scavenger hunt this month, where they put out an envelope full of gift cards and money or whatnot, and they post a clue about where it is. And everybody's on the hunt for it. I'm not interested, really. The gift cards are all to those fancy places, and I'll be honest with y'all, I don't like fancy places. If you do, that's fine. They're just not for me. I mean, I'm not knocking them. They've got good food usually, good atmosphere. But they're always so expensive. Why do they gotta be so expensive? So, I'm not participating in that till the last day. The last day is an envelope with $200. They put out a list of what's in the envelopes. And I feel like that's good for them. I mean, a lot of people like that there's a list, and I'm happy there's a list. But then everybody knows what's in it. And like some days you're going to have nobody looking for it, and some days the whole town's going to be looking. Like the last day is $200 cash. Everybody knows that now. So on the last day, 6 p.m., everybody's going to be refreshing their feeds for that page and just looking for where can I get my $200 instead of, sorry about that, that was loud, instead of not putting out a list and just saying, you know, a random envelope will contain $200. There's gift cards, there's cash. You don't know what you're going to get until you get it, that kind of thing. And that would encourage everybody to be on the lookout for them all the time, in my opinion. But we all know what opinions are, and they didn't ask for mine, so. But I think it's really cool, you know, get people out in the town, get people talking about it. Builds up some buzz for the business and for the businesses that have put in the gift cards, you know. It builds up some buzz for them. Like one of them is this coffee shop, Standpipe Coffee, and out front it's got a standpipe that was painted to look like a coffee cup. A standpipe, I don't know what it actually is, but it looks like it's just a pipe that maybe like was once used for some sort of exhaust or was part of another system. I don't really know, but I know it used to be a pipe, and it is still a pipe. It's just painted to look like a coffee. I'll take a picture one day. It's really cool to look at. Post it on my stories or something. So there's one we've inked with the horrible hands. Let's see what we can do for the next one. Let's do this one. We got another stamped one. I'm eventually going to use that monster. Put a little devil on it. I like that. Now there are people who are not going to want these Halloween books because of things like these little devils. That's fine. I'm going to put out some that are just basic, you know, basic Halloween images, stuff like that, so that people who are wanting one but are not into the whole creepier, off-putting parts of Halloween can still get one, if that makes sense. I'm trying to help everybody get something. I love this little tiny spider right here, by the way, y'all. What are we gonna do to the back? I gotta do something to the back because it is atrocious with that tear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my bag of paper. I zipped it up all the way around this so that this handle could be used. Don't ask me why, I got no clue. I just thought it was cool. Oh, there we go. This is a good use for this. I think, what part do I want to use? like right there. Like there's nothing happy about this, but it kind of cuts off the N and the G, which is fine. I'm okay with that. So go in with my scissors, make a cut here. Isn't perfect, but it's good enough. And then we'll make a cut here, so that we know it's long enough. Oops, I put the wrong piece up there, y'all. And then keep this in as few pieces as possible. Well, you know what I mean. We're going to cut out this front bit and put this bit on the side. And I could just turn it around this way, but I feel like that's boring. Let me line this up again here. Okay, and there. That way I know where to put this here. Pardon me. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, y'all. I don't mean to be so yawning. I would probably not use a glue stick for this. Don't get me wrong, glue sticks are fine some of the time, but my glue sticks are not the best. I just have Elmer School glue sticks. I'm going to try a few of the better ones as I can, as recommended by you guys. But for right now, I got to use those up. And in making all these cards and putting them on backs, I went through 6 glue sticks. And not all of them are stuck down real good. I did also accidentally buy the wrong repositionable glue. I think I told you all about that. To make sticky notes. Yeah, don't do that either. You definitely want the 3M for the sticky notes. And we're just going to cut this part off. And cut this part off. Don't drop the scissors. And we'll save the bigger bits of this, because I can use brown paper. So can you, whether you like it or not. If you're not a scraps person, that's fine. You don't have to be. You still get the gist. Even though these are not complete, you know exactly what that says. You can tell me you don't, but I don't believe you. I'm just going to try to get a little bit of this extra glue out. And we're at 52 minutes. And that's before I skipped forward a little, so I think that's as far as we're going to go today. Let's see what we got done today in 52 minutes. Y'all ready? See how many we made? Let me slide some things out of the way. I don't like doing cuts and then coming back if I can help it. I don't know where my pen went either. I never can get them quite right. Still learning that. But for now, I just slide things out of the way. Okay, so we made this tag, where on the front we have the stamping that I did before to kind of oof it up, and this little devil that we put in, and on the back, there's nothing happy about this. So, we have that card. We have this one with the horrible hands that I finally got rid of, and the ghost pattern paper, and then just this plain background. I might go back and do something with that, I'm not sure. We have the family portrait with the gold doubloon, platinum doubloon, electrum doubloon, this doubloon, and the clips to hold in photos or notes or whatever. We have this one, which I think is a little bit fancy for the front, with a potion bottle on the back. Super simple, might add something to it, and like I said, I'm probably going to ink all these later. This one, which again, just stamping on the front, and this piece from the voodoo kit on the back. We have this one with stamping and the full moon dust to kind of cut the clutter on the front, and the jellied eyeballs on the back. This one, which feels off, and I'm not sure why. I'll fix it later. With this lovely essence of Dittany, which I assume is duplication. And this one with our poison on the front, the nitric acid, and the blank back. This one here, where we have decided she's weak, and we may not burn her yet because we don't know if she weighs the same as a duck. And this on the back. And this one that opens with our lovely pumpkin on the front and our ribbon, which still hasn't dried or is permanently going to be striped, and that's okay. This lovely music paper on the front with a little bit of extra. I think it's dry and it's just never going to be the same. And these two little bits on the back. So that's what we got done today in 52 minutes. Again, you mass make the bases, you definitely can mass make the cards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there you go. We've spent about, what, 5 minutes a card? Roughly? Maybe a little less because I did talk a little bit in the beginning. But it's, when you do the mass makes, it's super easy. And you may not have a lot of room. I understand. Don't do the mass makes if you don't want to. But it does not take a very long time, so please don't dread it. It's not as hard as your mind is making it feel. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you, because without y'all, we couldn't do this. We wouldn't do this, because there would be no reason. You guys are the reason that all YouTubers are doing this. Especially me. Whether anybody wants to admit it or not. I mean, the reason I do it, never mind, y'all understood. Alright, so I will see you in the next one, where I am going to do the fairy tags, which I believe I will put out tomorrow, because I am about to film it today, and I believe I'll be able to get it edited and scheduled. That way, I have it done. But, if I don't get it out tomorrow, it will be very soon. Or the journal cards, not fairy tags, journal cards. Because I've got to get those done and get some stuff done with this journal. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for following along. Make sure you check out all the links in the description box for more places you can find me and my work, and some groups of people who love to talk about these kinds of things. Make sure you're following along with Lottie's Magic Attic and the Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things scavenger hunt that's going on this month. There are links in the description to that too. I really do love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.